Hi, and welcome back to this Monday edition of Focal Point AFR Talk. We're going to open up the phone lines, 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Two things I want to hear from you. So want your calls focused on these two topics, either one of these two topics. Number one, what do you think about Rick Perry as a presidential candidate in 2016? He's obviously cleared his calendar. He's going to be able to put his full energies into the task of running for the White House in 2016. He won't be running for re-election in 2014. That means by this time next year, he's going to be able to shift his energies from functioning as the governor of the state of Texas. He'll still have obviously some time left in his administration, but he will not be occupied at the same time with running for re-election. So it opens up some options for him to put his energies elsewhere. And one of those directions obviously is the White House. And Governor Perry, now I don't know, I still have not heard the complete report. The press conference is going on when we were on air, so I have not heard the complete report about what he said. If he said something about the White House, I'm sure he was asked about this. He has not denied, he's never denied the possibility of running. In fact, he's always affirmed that would be a possibility for him. We'll play a soundbite here in just 1 second. So I'd like to know what you think about the possibility of Governor Perry as a presidential candidate in 2016, despite his flameout in the 2012 campaign when he had that glitch, that oops moment, and everything just kind of torpedoed from there, cratered from there. The other thing is I want to ask you from a pro-life perspective. Well, you might be pro-abortion listening to us, and I'd be probably more interested in your reaction even than those in the pro-life community. But when you hear the resolve of Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst, the pro-life resolve, we are going to pass this bill. Texas is going to be the most pro-life state in the nation. We are not going to allow mob rule to interfere, to disrupt the legislative process. What does that do to you? I mean, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you talk about Chris Matthews getting a thrill up his leg. This is what gives me a thrill up my leg when you see legislators and lawmakers with this kind of resolve, this kind of determination, this kind of commitment to principle, this kind of commitment to the sanctity of life, this kind of commitment to moral principle. That's something that just excites me because government has got to step in to protect life. That is the responsibility of government. Remember, the founder said in the Declaration that the Creator has given us certain unalienable rights. Among these are the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life is number one. This is a gift from the Creator. When that baby is conceived in the womb, conceived in the body of its mother, that is a gift of God. That life has come into being by God's creative act. He is the one that has granted that child life and the right to life. And as the Declaration makes it very clear, the purpose of government is to secure these rights, to protect those rights, to guarantee those rights. Government has no authority, no ability, no liberty to grant rights or create rights. It doesn't have the authority from God to do that, but it does have the authority and the responsibility to defend and protect those rights. And that's the kind of courage that Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst, that Texas Governor Rick Perry are showing on the pro-life issue. They will not be deterred. One of the things, the observation we made about conservatives, and especially it was made about evangelicals, but the knock on evangelicals, and it's a true fact, that the problem with evangelicals is when they win, they quit, and when they lose, they quit. And the other side never quits. We've got a group bringing back a personhood amendment in the state of Mississippi again this year. It's been filed, and the effort is underway. Even though the effort lost the first time around, the pro-life community in Mississippi is not going to quit, not going anywhere. There's resolve, there's determination to give the voters in Mississippi another opportunity to amend our state constitution to protect life from the moment of conception. So there's no quit. Remember, it's the spirit of Winston Churchill. Never, never, never give in. Never, 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 never give in. And that's what evangelicals tend to do. But we see that kind of perseverance in the lieutenant governor and governor of the state of Texas. It's a great thing to see. Now, here is Governor Perry from yesterday from a talk show, clip number 2. Rob, he specifically asked about 2016. Here's what he had to say.
Well, let's talk about 2016. Do you want to take another run at the presidency? Well, certainly that's an option out there, but again, we got a lot of work to do in this building right behind me over the course of the next couple of weeks that have my focus substantially more than even 2014 or 2016.
So apparently Governor Perry said, I'm looking here at a piece on the Weekly Standard, he's not going to seek re-election, and he is not yet announcing his future plans. That apparently is going to happen when he is ready. All future considerations I will announce in due time. So I'd like to get your reaction to that. Governor Perry is a possibility for 2016. Now, one of the issues that tripped up Governor Perry in his first time around, remember, was the immigration issue, where he was sort of in favor, well, not sort of, he was in favor of basically the DREAM Act, which to me is rewarding lawbreaking. And he said, if you don't agree with me on that, you don't have a heart. And that really hurt him with the Tea Party crowd, and it should have. Now, he was asked again, I've had this in the queue for about a week now, about border security and how important that is in dealing with any sort of immigration reform. And here is what Governor Perry had to say. Here's clip one. This is an interview with Wall
We
Street
have
Journal.
had real life experiences of surging into areas, sectors of the border, and shutting down the border from the standpoint of illegal activities. We know how to do this with boots on the ground, with technology, with aviation assets in the ground. We just don't have the dollars nor the resources to do it for that entire 1,200-mile border. And frankly, it's not Texas' responsibility. But interestingly, no one from Washington, not the administration, no one from Congress, has ever really come and sat down with us and said, Governor, how would you secure the border? We'll be happy to share with them ideas that frankly work because we've done it real time. But until the border is secure, I don't think Americans are going to trust Washington to pass an immigration bill, no matter how good it sounds or how thoughtful it is, until they get the border secure.
So that's Governor Perry expressing a solid commitment that border security has got to come first. And this is what we've said all the way along. My position is very simple. No fence, no deal. We're not even going to talk about anything until the fence is built. A double-layer security fence is in place along the entire southern border. And speaking of fences, that they do work, I got an article here from the Israel Times. You want proof that a border works, I give you Israel. This is a piece from the Times of Israel from yesterday. Israel's new security fence along the Israel-Egypt border, that is their southern border, coincidentally enough. Israel's new security fence along the Israel-Egypt border has stemmed the tide of illegal immigration to Israel and has been protecting Israel from terrorists operating in the Sinai Peninsula, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Sunday. That's yesterday. The fence that we built is making a significant contribution to blocking illegal immigration to Israel, noting that the fence has blocked 99% of African, those are Muslims, by the way, blocked 99% of African or Muslim migrants from reaching Israel. The border fence has taken several years to construct at an estimated cost of $377 million. In practice, said Netanyahu, nobody has entered, and the few who have arrived did not reach Israel's cities. The fence has completely stopped illegal immigration to Israel, but it also has an additional function, namely counterterrorism. I repeat, this is Benjamin Netanyahu. The fence has completely stopped illegal immigration to Israel. Will a border security fence work? Absolutely. Israel is proof. He goes on, every day that passes underscores how correct and how important the decision was to build the fence in the south. You must remember that this fence is equipped with very advanced means to protect the state of Israel against the double threat of illegal immigration and terrorism from Sinai. And we've talked about this before, that it's not just illegal immigration that is a concern. It is that we have terrorists flooding across our unprotected southern border. Well, let's listen to clip number 2, Governor Perry on immigration.
In the meantime, as that would be a difficult process to implement, what do you do with the 11 million or so folks that are here illegally but have jobs?
Well, the same thing you've been doing with them for the last 40 years.
Is that? Is this a sustainable system that we have?
No, it's not a sustainable system. But listen, throwing these ideas at the wall until you secure the border, I will suggest to you, is just it's a non-starter.
How come?
Because Americans don't trust Washington to secure the border. Again, until you get that border secure, Americans, by and large, are going to look at this and go, you know what? You've never done it before, so why should I trust you now?
Now, the interesting thing about Governor Perry, that was an interview with the Wall Street Journal. And the Wall Street Journal, I mean, these people are big-time amnesty people. They are open borders. They are pro-amnesty. They're let them all come, because the Wall Street Journal, representing the business community that wants the cheap labor, they don't care if Americans get aced out of jobs. They could care less about that, because the people that they're catering to want to have cheap labor. So they're big-time amnesty folks. So Rick Perry going right in there and saying, look, job one, not amnesty, it's not open borders. Job one is to secure the border, our southern border. Let me reopen my call screener software. Okay, number to call, 888-589-8840 if you'd like to join the program. What do you think about Rick Perry as a possible candidate 2016? And what do you think about the pro-life moxie of the leadership in the state of Texas? 888-589-8840 is the number to call. Let's grab clip number one if we can, Rob. This is back to the protest that was held in the state capitol. Remember, we played the clip of the pro-abortion protester shouting, "Hail Satan." We've got another video of the same event, and here clearly you can hear the pro-abortion protesters shouting, "Hail Satan." Let's listen.
And, you know, the only difference is between the back alley butchers and today's abortion clinics is that they let you in through the front door. The procedure's the same, the instruments are the same, they let you in through the front door. That's the difference. Herman Gosnell butchered women, butchered children. We have Carpet down in Houston.
Douglas Carpet.
Butchering women.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, we talk about the fact that this is spiritual warfare, and that was Exhibit A. Very impressed with the pro-life woman that was holding the mic and advancing the cause of the sanctity of life. And you heard behind her pro-death protesters hailing Satan. Just like we praise God and we praise Jesus, they were praising Satan. Hail Satan. We are involved in spiritual warfare, not just culture war, but we're involved in a spiritual war. Focal Point, AFR Talk, back in 2.
Attention all Christian